Welcome to the Jacksonville Bar Association podcast. My name is Craig Shoup. I'm the executive director here at the Jacksonville Bar, and we're excited to welcome James Poindexter with us today. James has practiced labor and employment law in Jacksonville since 2015. While attending law school, James worked for Delegal law offices as a law clerk and ultimately became an associate attorney when he became a member of the Florida Bar in 2015. In 2019, James was made a shareholder of the firm, which became Delegal and Poindexter, PA. James currently serves as the 2022-2023 president of the Jacksonville Bar Association's Young Lawyer section and was the 2021 president of the Florida chapter of the National Employment Lawyers Association. James was born and raised here in Jacksonville and graduated from Episcopal High School and Rollins College with a bachelor's degree in political science. While earning his Juris Doctorate from Florida Coastal School of Law, James concurrently earned a master's degree in business administration from Jacksonville University. Before we get to James, I do want to say a special thank you to all of our Jacksonville Bar Association partners. At this point, we do have a quick message from one of our partners.
Hi, I'm Steve Strum. I am a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual Wealth Management Company. I am a proud supporter of the Jacksonville Bar Association. As a financial advisor, I help lawyers make good decisions with money. Those decisions could be investment accounts, insurance planning, estate planning, business planning. If you want to know more about what I can do to help serve you, please call me at 904-505-8852 or check out my website. Thank you very much for your support from the Jacksonville Bar Association for these years, and I'm happy to continue supporting you guys now and into the future.
We always appreciate all of our partners here at the Jacksonville Bar Association. Well, with all that, James, welcome. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me, Craig.
So tell us a little bit about you and what made you want to become a lawyer.
Well, I grew up with some lawyers in my family. My uncle was a lawyer. Some close family friends of my parents were lawyers. And I always respected what they did. They helped people. And so I got an opportunity to go to law school here in Jacksonville where I grew up. While doing that, working for my mentor, Tad Delegal, who not only taught me how to be a lawyer, but how to be a good person and help people. And so I've really enjoyed the opportunity to learn from him and then now work beside him in our firm.
What made you choose labor and employment? Maybe other than the fun of working with Tad every day.
Well, that is fun, but I actually worked for a labor and employment firm when I was at Rollins College and clerked with them a little bit at the time. And a really sharp group of attorneys down there at the firm, Jill Schwartz and Associates, and really enjoyed the intellectual side of labor and employment law. It really requires a lot of research. The issues are extremely nuanced. It's a highly specialized practice, and being able to help people who are generally dealing with, I'd say probably family law in a lot of ways deals with some of the most complex human relationships that we have. But certainly helping people deal with issues in the workplace is sometimes the best or the worst days of people's lives.
You've been practicing now for a number of years. What's a great story or a memory from a case or a trial you've been a part of that has always stuck with you?
I had an injunction hearing. It was one of my first adversarial hearings that I had down in St. Johns County, and I had represented an employee who went to go work for a company, and his former employer was trying to enforce the non-compete agreement. And he was trying to earn money to make a living, trying to support his family. And we only had about 24 hours to prepare for the hearing, so I remember staying up all night and meeting him at Starbucks the next morning and printing out documents and getting ready for the hearing. And we ended up being successful in that hearing and allowing him to continue to earn and make a living and and work in the marketplace. And I really appreciated the sense of trust he put in us, but also the good we were able to do for him so that he could continue working in the career and the area that he loved, and supporting his family and moving forward.
Tell me something you maybe you've learned since you've come out of law school that you really wish you would have been taught in law school. Maybe not necessarily a nuance of the practice, but just how things are done or something along those kind of lines.
Well, in law school, a lot of what you learn is how to manage the law, to understand the law, to deal with deadlines, civil procedure, ethical issues. You don't learn necessarily the client management side of it. And a lot of lawyers don't have to deal with that. They're in-house, they've got one client, they're transactional, they're got a couple of clients or a couple of corporations they're working for. But when you're doing, at least what we do, I have different clients all the time, and understanding different personality types, understanding how to have a good bedside manner when people are dealing with the worst day of their life. In some cases, that's something that you really learn over the years of experience in dealing with different people, and meeting them where they are, trying to understand what they need. Something that I'm still learning, but I wish I had known that was going to be such a central part of my career.
Kind of on some of that same realm, we have in the last couple of years through COVID and the expansion of Zoom and Zoom hearings and the folks moving all around the state, even and moving here to North Florida, we've had a growth in lawyers. We've had a growth in just general population. What is something you think lawyers who either knew the practice here or just have moved here or maybe taken more cases through Zoom that they should know about practicing here in the Fourth Circuit that is different than any other place in the state?
So, and I actually just wrote about this in my in the Bar Bulletin for the Daily Record. But Jacksonville in the Fourth Judicial Circuit is especially known for having a collegiate bar association, and I think a lot of the people who've been practicing here a long time will say that they feel like that may be slipping, and I think it's a sign of the times. People are less patient. People have less empathy for each other. Just generally speaking, people are just less kind in general, and that's bleeding into the legal profession. And we've seen that in other areas of the state and other areas of the country for a long time. And unfortunately, we're starting to see that here. And I think the cure for that is to get to know people. I mean, when you're dealing with people who you know personally, you may not agree with them politically, religiously, philosophically, emotionally. I mean, they may be completely different from you. But the more we get to understand each other, the better time we're going to have when we're dealing with each other professionally. And the harder time we're going to have being nasty to each other, quite frankly. And so I really think the Jacksonville Bar Association is one of those organizations that provides people an opportunity to get that personal one-on-one FaceTime with people they might not otherwise associate with. I know on my board, we have a wide variety of political opinions of people coming from different socioeconomic classes, people who practice in different areas and have different worldviews. But we all get together and we work towards the same goal, and because of that, I think it breeds an environment of professionalism.
So speaking of the Young Lawyers, you are the 2022-2023 president of the Young Lawyers. You've been involved for numerous years and done a little bit of everything in that part of the organization. Tell us a little bit about your ideas and thoughts for your year as president.
So on that same vein, I really want to see more joining. I think we need to increase our membership. The Young Lawyers section has long been a place where the people who are a member of it and who are involved in it love it. They get a lot out of it professionally, personally, and have nothing but really glowing things to say about it. But that's been a relatively small population, And I would like to see more people brought into the Young Lawyers section who can understand what the Young Lawyers section offers and benefit from that. And so what that means is we've got to, get back to the work that we were doing pre-COVID, which was having in-person events again, making sure that our charity events are the top-notch fundraisers that they have been traditionally. But it also means thinking outside the box on the way that we do our social events. For a long time, we've had very good social events for the people that they attract, but they may not necessarily attract people who want to do something else. Having a social event, for instance, where we go to the beach for a day, on a Saturday or something like that, or having a social event where we just go bowling or do something completely different may bring new people in, again, expanding that diversity and allowing them to benefit from that.
That's definitely true. I've seen it in the last several years. We continue to grow. The Young Lawyers have continued to grow, and I think with your ideas here, it's going to definitely stay in that way for sure, and continue that as we continue to try to come out of COVID. Any other things of why you think it's important to be a member of the Jacksonville Bar? I know Tad, as a past president, kind of instilled it in you probably from day one. You will be a member of the JaxBar. I think he would get some dirty looks from other past presidents if everyone in his office wasn't a member. But sure. Other than that, what do you see as the great value in being part of the JaxBar?
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, our practice is just from a selfish standpoint. We are almost 100% referral based. Our value as a firm is built upon the relationships we have with other attorneys and people within the marketplace that know that we do what we do and we do it well. And so for those attorneys out there who are trying to build their referral network, the Jacksonville Bar Association is really the best place to do that within the legal community. You get to know lawyers personally, you get to know them professionally, you sit beside them at CLEs, you play golf with them at the golf tournament. You get an opportunity to commune with them in a way that otherwise we don't have time to. Lawyers are busy. We don't just go out and hang out at restaurants on a Wednesday afternoon for lunch, but we get to do that once a month for the JBA luncheons and enjoy each other's company. And so having that opportunity to build your referral network, but also having the opportunity to get to know people on a personal level that's good for the profession in general, I think are the two biggest selling points.
That's so true. I mean, I've seen people build their referrals from just working the room at the luncheons and meeting people and sitting at a different table every time and meeting new people. And of course, I know we have our lawyer referral service where folks who are very new into the practice, there's certain areas that we always need folks for. And I've seen attorneys build firms completely off of the lawyer referral service because they're willing to talk to people and willing to at least listen to them. I think it goes back to that bedside manner and just willing to hear somebody out with what they may perceive as their legal issue.
And I can't tell you how many times at a luncheon a lawyer comes up to me or is sitting across from me at the table and says, I had this client tell me that they're dealing with this thing, or their cousin's got this non-compete issue, or their brother's got a nursing license and they got a letter from the state of Florida or whatever. And not only has it turned into a business opportunity, but now I've added yet another person into my network of people who I can call upon if I need to refer a case out. And they know that they can refer cases to us. So
I'll tell you one of my favorite questions, and this is kind of a little bit of left field question from what we've done. My favorite question from this forum has been, as we know, I don't miss many meals. What are some favorite places you like to go and have dinner with your family here in town? I mean, you've got a growing family.
A very young family.
Young family, growing family. Maybe a couple options that are good for the whole family, a couple just for you and your wife sometimes.
Sure, absolutely. We love V Pizza. It's just over in San Marco. And so we often we'll get takeout from there to bring home, but that's really good. But if it's just my wife and I going out to dinner, one of our favorite places to go is Taverna in San Marco. We love patronizing the local restaurants around there. Calford Chop House never misses. It's always a good option. But there are some great places to take kids in this town to eat, that have fun things for them to do. The Bearded Pig, for instance, has that outdoor area where kids can hang out. And then, of course, there's Mellow Mushroom over in Avondale, which has a cool place for people to play and enjoy each other.
A little fire truck or a van or something you can sit in?
Yeah, they've got some fun amenities for kids.
So James, if somebody wants to reach out to you about being more involved in the young lawyers, maybe referring a labor and employment issue to you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best thing to do is to shoot me an email. I can be found on the JBA website. If someone's looking to send a client over and they just want to set up a time to do an evaluation of their case, call our firm, 904-633-5000, and our assistants will happily get them on our calendar.
Well, thank you, James, for coming in. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on our next episode.